Hi, everyone. It is Renee at Ideal Protein in Los Gatos, and I'm here with Rosemarie from Ideal Weight Management in Gainesville, Florida. And I'm going to have Rosemarie tell you her story, how she got into the business, and then, she's going to talk to you today about the tools that it takes to really be successful. And one of the key tools is your food diary and journaling. So I'm going to hand it over to Rosemarie.
Hi, everyone. Hi, Elizabeth. So I actually went to college and got a degree in exercise science. I always had a love and a passion for health and fitness. And life took a little bit of a different route, and I became a teacher for about 10 years. And that gave me this love for teaching health and education. And my husband and I both did this protocol about 8 years ago. We loved it so much. It was so life-changing to us and our children and our entire family that we soon figured out this is what I wanted to do, and I wanted to make this happen. And so fast forward 8 years, and here we are in Gainesville, Florida, and just helping people every day learn how to apply everything to their life for those long-term success.
That's awesome. I am always so encouraged when I see the different posts, and I love when you share. Rosemarie has this really active clinic, and it's amazing all of the different events that she has. It's really, if you want a great coach, your coach should be interacting with you all the time, encouraging you. We are your best friend. So use us. That's what makes Ideal Protein different, is that you're able to connect with your coach. Everybody has a different style of coaching. In our office, you can text us 7 days a week. If I'm not sleeping, I am going to text you right back. We email, we talk by phone, and every single week, whether you want to see what's on that scale or not, get into the office, talk to us, tell us how we can help you. That we're passionate about what we do. Tell us how you handle your clients, Rosemarie.
Well, our big thing is not really, the weight loss portion is a small portion of what we do. Our big picture is, how are we going to keep this off long term? And that comes with education, education, education. And if you don't change the daily habits that you have, the long-term success is going to really be a struggle. And so with our clients, it's just really trying to keep them engaged and learning and exploring about themselves and how food and nutrition relates to that, and just living a healthy lifestyle, because it is not, Ideal Protein and this nutrition is one little part. They have to look at the bigger picture of, are they sleeping well? And, are they managing their stress? Are they moving well? Are they going to the bathroom okay? And so all of these components make up wellness, and we can definitely help them stay engaged on the nutrition side of it. That's what we do. But we also, the reason we bring in so many events and workshops is to try to touch on all of the other little parts of their life and just make wellness a well-rounded, thing for them to think about. It's not just one-sided. So that's what we do here. It is about education. And the two other coaches that I have, April and Cindy, are both occupational therapists. And so they're in the therapy world all the time, teaching and sharing that advice with others. So that's our big passion here, is really to just educate. And we are also learning ourselves too.
I love it. I know we learn every day, and that's what's cool about our Coaches Forum. Okay, so one of the things I want to reach out to everybody, get you interacting. I see we have a few people that have said hello to us. I've been posting those things. And Melissa from Red Cliff Pharmacy or PharmaSave, she posted a great tip here. It's easy to invite others. Click share and invite friends. So please do that. and we'll make this thing grow. So before we get started, Rose, we do have a question here. I'll let you answer it. So here we go. Diane says, I feel really hungry in the evening. That's my struggle. Any ideas on how to combat this? I end up failing myself.
Definitely. So first thing is ask yourself, are you truly hungry or are you having a craving? Because we need to separate those two things. And those both could be going on even at the same time. So truly hungry, like your stomach is growling, you're hungry.
Yeah.
You probably are missing something throughout the day. Maybe a vitamin. You're probably maybe not getting 2 cups of vegetables, lunch and dinner. Maybe you didn't get all your protein in. There's something missing when you're really that hungry. Or maybe you were just really active that day and you need a little bit more there.
Sure.
But look back at your food journal, because we're going to touch on that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people will have 4 cups of vegetables, but they're selecting vegetables that happen to be just really low in carbs, or maybe they're on the unlimited list. And so, yeah, they're having 4 cups of vegetables, but they're not choosing the vegetables that are really going to make them feel full. So first, take a look at what you already did earlier and make sure you got all your water in and all of those things. Then if you feel like you're still hungry, you know, maybe it's just a craving. And that is something else that we need to address. Why are you having cravings? Now, cravings come in for a bunch of different reasons. They can be hormonal. They can be, again, because you're stressed out. They can be because you smelled something or you saw something or somebody ate pizza in front of you. And so it like got in your head a little bit. So we need to try to figure out if you're having a craving, let's try to address that as, I notice. And that's why we're going to go back to the food journal. If you write down every night at 8:30 p.m., I am craving something chocolatey. I don't know why. So first would be like, why are you craving it? Write that in your food journal. Second, the other tip is to take something hot, like a cup of hot tea. You haven't already done the hot chocolate, and Renee posted the Mexican hot chocolate, which was a huge hit around here already this morning. But having something warm is very satiating. Maybe just a hot cup of tea. At the end of the day, that may be what needs to go on. And then the other little part, and some of my clients do this too, I tell them, you need to go to sleep. You're staying up too late. So
I know. Really
like recognize what's going on and just write all that in your journal and see if you can find a pattern either in what you're craving, time of day, or are you actually just hungry? Because you may just be hungry and we may need to tweak the when we give you phase 1, that is a blueprint and we have to tweak it and make it as perfect as we can. And probably just when we figure it all out, we change it again because the next week is different and something else is going on and you're traveling or it's things.
Exactly.
So we're constantly trying to just make it so that you can have the most successful week possible. So
I think that's a really good point in that, this is not a one size fits all. There's no program that's a one size fits all. Your lean mass, your layer of fat, your hydration levels, your absorption rate for the way that your body absorbs nutrients, everybody is different. And some people are, a little bit sicker than other people. It takes time and giving yourself that first initial at least 3 weeks for us to help you fine tune things. When a client comes in and says, well, I'm not losing weight fast enough, your body is going to do what it's going to do. Use as Rose says, blueprint, and then from there we're going to tweak it. So I think that's a super good point. One of the things that Melissa put here that I just put up on the screen was maybe you need to add just a full head of lettuce and get something satiating going on, and also using the BCAAs, and we can also, in one of our broadcasts, we can talk about some of the different products and how they are used together and what have you. But we're going to talk about journaling today. So again, share. And what would be really awesome would be for everybody to mention where you're from. We would love to hear where you are from. I didn't want to ignore Ron over here. Ron says, I went to 4 clinics before I found my coach, and we just clicked when we met. Yeah, you know, sometimes it's just like anything that we get along with some people get us and other people don't. So yeah, you know, Rose is lucky in that you have several coaches, and you know, if something doesn't work out, I'm sure do you guys switch things around if someone's not clicking?
Definitely. I mean, I think that we enjoy doing that. We enjoy seeing each other's clinic or dieters, and we enjoy interacting with each other because sometimes that other person will just see something that you missed. It's important to have that good relationship with this person. You are on a long journey with them through this. And if you feel like, oh man, this just isn't the right person for me, maybe they're too harsh, maybe they're too easy, and you just don't feel that vibe. I mean, look around. There's plenty of us around here. And you know, it's okay for you to also be open with your coach and walk in and say, you know, it's been a really, really tough week.
Yep.
Here's what I need from you. Because when, you know, we don't know what you're walking in with. And sometimes that allows us to know where we need to go, you know, from there with that client, depending on whatever happened that week. And so just communicating that with us and knowing that we're on this journey with you for a long time.
Yeah, I always tell my clients, you and I are going to be best friends. So, you know, let's get to know each other. All right. Before we head off into our journaling, I think we could actually go forever on this. This is kind of fun. I usually just talk. And so this is a great format. I'm looking forward to continuing this. Erica says, hi there. Thanks for doing this. And Diane says, thank you. It's interesting when you mentioned the low-calorie vegetables. I have to look into this because I do eat my 4 cups. I am told my leptin is off the charts. My coach asked if I'm hungrier in the evening. So we can address all these things. We'll keep all these different things and, you know, address them in a future post. And so let's say hi to a couple people. Amy, nice to see you from Coeur d'Alene. And oh, look who's here. Dee is here from Medicine Hat. Love it. Dee, I love your recipes. If you guys are not on Dee's Facebook group, you got to join it. She's always posting these awesome recipes, and I share them all the time. We have Charlotte from Gainesville. Yay! Okay, so let's go off and let's really get to our subject. And one more here. Elizabeth says, I am so fortunate to have Rosemarie as my coach in Gainesville, Florida. I am from Dunellen and travel over an hour for my appointments each way. She is so awesome. That is very, very cool. I do have some clients that actually do the same thing, travel from San Francisco every Saturday. Okay, we got Ron. He's from Chicago. All right, so let's head to the journaling. So tell us, Rose, what is a food journal and what is not?
So I think people or clients think that their food journal is meant for, it's like an assignment where they want to come in and we're supposed to grade them on how perfect it is and mark little marks all over it and hand it back and tell them they got an A or a B. Maybe that's just the teacher in me, but I feel that a lot of times they feel that, but that is not what it is. It is not for you to come in with this perfectly planned journal and then for us to mark all over it and judge you or grade you by any means.
Exactly.
Sometimes people will come in with a perfect food journal, but it actually wasn't a perfect week because they struggled all week. Maybe not even with their food, but maybe mentally they struggled all week. They were hungry, they were starving, they were uncomfortable. They just couldn't get focused on it. And so coming in with an honest food journal is very critical. So it's not for us to tell you that you did all these things wrong. It's really for us to try to connect with you. And it is the best tool that we can do. You know, you've hired us to be your health coach.
Yep.
It is the best bang for your buck to complete a good journal and I'll go into what all of those details mean later, but to bring in your journal so then we can make notes on it and say, you know, hey, how about adding this over here? Or right. I'm noticing that you're hungry every single night. Let's give you a tool. Even if that hunger, you're just ignoring it. Let's give you a tool so that you're comfortable. So it's really not about us judging you. It is not you're coming into a place for us to be mean about it and see how perfectly fit into the boxes. It's really for us to provide advice and tips and tools. And remember that we have so many clients. All of us have, you know, hundreds of clients that we're working with. So you think you're the first one that's having whatever the issue is, and you're probably not. We probably have so many ideas to provide that for you. But if you don't come in with the food journal, it doesn't allow us to do our job. So we can't even give you paid us to be your health coach. So we can even give you the best bang for your buck. But also, not only does it allow us to do our job, it allows you to reflect and to take a look. And, you know, sometimes people will come in and say, I had a terrible week. And I'll say, let's look at the food journal. And it's really not that bad. Or it's really, you know, it's really a lot worse than maybe you had thought. So the food journal is also your best tool of how you can be successful just writing down. We're going to talk about it. It's a lot more than just writing down your food. So you can use this tool as your little sidekick, and you know, it will really, really help you be successful. My most successful dieters journal, and they do a great job journaling. And we'll talk about some of the excuses for why people think that they shouldn't, but we always want to go back to that.
That's right. You know what I always tell my clients is, and you know, I read this fact somewhere that said that people that journal their food diary actually lose 20% more and 20% faster. And that really motivates my clients to be like, oh, okay. And the one thing is inevitably I have clients that will tell me, I eat the same thing every week. I don't journal. And then when finally they get to a place where they're plateauing, they're not seeing the numbers that they want to see, they finally do what I asked them to do, and they realize, oh, okay. And then also I'm able to really adjust things. I always tell my clients, like, I'm here to help you. You are tying my hands behind my back because I can't really help you if I can't see what's going on during the week. I would love to be able to adjust things for you. So before we go into the next thing, I want to just highlight a couple people here. Carolyn, so good to see you from Dr. Zambato's office in Maryland. And Dr. Zambato is going to be on. She's going to be talking about maintenance and lifestyle, and that's going to be in 2 weeks. Melissa is coming on next week. And Melissa says, love that. You hired us to be your coach. Let us coach you. So yeah, that's a great saying, and it's really the truth. There is absolutely no judgment going on here. It is our goal for you to be successful. Not only be successful, stay successful. That's what makes Ideal Protein so unique. I think I've been on every kind of diet that is possible. I've lost and gained 65 pounds 3 times in my life. And the bottom line is the last 15 years, it took me a while, but I think I got it figured out. And Ideal Protein's a big, big part of that. Here we have Amy telling us, right, I tell clients they're coaching themselves if they're not journaling. It's like going to the gym in high heels and not going to get a lot done. We focus on learning the positive aspect of the journal. Not paying attention to it is what got them in trouble in the first place generally. Ron says, I still track everything. It's amazing how things add up if you're not paying attention. And that is so, so true. Okay, everybody, share this broadcast. Please share. And again, if you're coming on new, I see some new people on here. Please share where you're from. Rose and I only have about 7 minutes left. So Rose, I'm going to let you go loose on the rest of the food journaling, you know, talking about tips that make you successful, make your journal actually work for you. So go, Rose.
Okay, so let's just chat for a minute. If the journal is not working for you. Let's talk about some ways that you can, maybe you're just not doing it right. So maybe the little green booklet that we gave you is not the right way for you to journal. Maybe you prefer to use an app. Maybe you prefer to use a different spiral notebook. We don't care if you write it on toilet paper and in blood. Just bring it in. So where do you choose? Maybe you need, some people really do like an electronic journal. The point is, get it somewhere and figure out what works for you. Now, everybody's a little bit different about that. So if this green booklet is not working for you, one, maybe try some different things, try some different devices and stuff like that. Secondly, if you're terrible about journaling, you just keep forgetting, you don't mind journaling, but you forget, pre-write in your journal for the week.
I agree.
I'm making you plan, which is another day. But if you will just pre-write in your journal the basics of the week, and then you just follow out you've already written the plan, and then you just follow the plan, it makes it is a big stress relief rather than flying by the seat of your pants and just writing as you go. So journaling is really just tracking, which is different from planning, which is different from prepping. Journaling is writing down, everything that you felt and all the food that you ate.
Exactly.
So pre-write in your journal, that is a huge help. It's making you plan. And honestly, if you're on phase 1, it is so easy to pre-write because so many of you are creatures of habit. You have the same thing for breakfast every day, or maybe 2 different things, and you can easily write down at least breakfast and lunch and get to dinner. So 1, pre-write in your journal. That's a big start, and also maybe change where you journal. And then 2 would be, don't forget the details of, sometimes clients will just write salad, and that's just not really enough for us to help guide you. So be more detailed in your journal with more specifics, not just on the food that you ate, but also if you notice any reaction, like you didn't feel good, or you had diarrhea or a headache, or you were hungry, write down those details and the time of day that those happen, so that we as coaches can look for patterns and also make you more aware. Because when you get to maintenance, the goal is that you are aware of which foods worked for you and which foods didn't, which foods filled you up, which ones did not, how you did with warm foods versus hot foods versus raw foods. So just being detail oriented. Even if you have a deviation, don't not write it down because you're scared that the judge/health coach is going to mark a red mark on your journal. Write down the deviations, write down the time of day, anything that led up to it. Because oftentimes we'll see that there was an entire several hours of things that led up to that. It wasn't just that you snagged a cookie and so you were stressed out at the end of the day, and then you walked into the grocery store and then there just happened to be a bakery right there. So write down the details, including the deviations. And lastly, make sure you connect with your feelings, any non-scale victories. If every day you can write something that you are doing better, drinking more water, sleeping better, your dresses fit better, your rings fit better, somebody complimented you, you're finally going to the bathroom, you can see your clavicle, whatever your thing is, writing down, connecting with your journal, and writing down how you're feeling will really help you to see that this is so much bigger than just the numbers on the scale.
Okay, so I see here, I love Diane says, I'm buying a journal ASAP. That's awesome. And, Victoria says, thanks for the information. If I don't journal, I am more likely not to follow protocol. Love Ideal Protein. This is awesome. We're going to wrap it up here because both Rosemarie and I have to be somewhere in 5 minutes. But, this was super fun and time went really, really fast. Thank you for joining me. And please feel free to send us your questions, send us subjects you'd like to talk about. I do a weekly Facebook Live, and I'm really enjoying this format. So next week, Melissa is going to be talking about diabetes, diabetes type 2, medications, blood pressure, and how to adjust all of those things, what to be looking for as you are transitioning through your weight loss, as you're releasing fat, as your hormones are changing. That's going to be an extremely interesting Facebook. And Rose, thank you so much. Rose is such an inspiration. I go online, I read all of her coaching posts, and it helps me to be a better coach. I'll be having different people on monthly, and Rose is definitely one of the people at the top of my list. So have a great day, enjoy, and go Dodgers. All right, you guys.
All right, thanks for having me, Renee.